Hello and welcome to Meet the Diplomat. Today we have with us Mr. Mookhesswur, Choonee, the High Commissioner of Mauritius to India. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hello, pleased to meet you.
Okay, let's start with the cordial relationship that Mauritius and India have been sharing. We've seen very good relationship from the angle of politics, from the angle of religion, culture and everything. Are there some more areas that you think need to be explored?
Well, thank you very much for having selected Mauritius for this interview. The special relations that exist between our two countries are really unique. And I appreciate the good words you say as far as those relations are concerned. Now, the unique relations between these two countries allow us to venture further. We have new horizons now where we can have many things more in common, and definitely we are viewing this with a very positive eye. India's demarcation as a country emerging to become a world power, on one hand, with the resources, the people, the talent, the natural bounty. You have all the assets on one side in India, and on the other hand, Mauritius is now shifting gears. We were a monocrop economy previously. Now we have other more important major pillars of the economy, and automatically the relations between these two countries will have to be, focused such that the new pillars of the economy of Mauritius are tapped by the Indian business people, the tourists, and the Indian nationals to further consolidate the relation that exists between the two countries.
You said that the relationship between these two countries are unique, of course, and we are touching new horizons every day. From the economy point of view, you said that we need to do more, on which we'll talk later, but tourism sector, you said, needs to be promoted more and more. How do we go about it?
Well, tourism sector is the emerging sector of Mauritian pillar of the economy. We are very good at it. We are used now to having at least more than 700,000 tourists from all over the world coming to Mauritius, and most of them are from Europe. Now, there has been something not normal in the relations as far as tourists are concerned. I'll have to point out here that we have been getting only about 30,000 tourists from India.
Right.
And it's the same amount almost that comes from Mauritius towards India. Now, India being what it is, incredible, I'm sure more Mauritians will feel like coming to India. And definitely what we are offering in Mauritius for the tourism sector, I feel many more Indians should go to Mauritius. Why I say that is because you have a new emerging middle class people in India. Millions of them. Those who are using the scooters now use the car. Those who have been using the car now wish to travel. Right. They're moving from India, out of India, to Singapore, to Malaysia, and why not to Mauritius? And how do we go about making more Indians going down to Mauritius? Of course, we'll have to increase the number of flights.
Right.
Actually, to date we have 7 flights between Mauritius and India, direct flights.
But need to work more on this.
Definitely we are working. We are changing the planes now. We have bought 2 new planes, and those planes will be servicing India. Mm-hmm. The seat capacity is being doubled from our side. But over and above that, Mauritius is now practicing an open sky policy.
Right.
And we want to increase the number of tourists coming to India, at least double. Right. But up to the year 2015, we expect to have 2 million tourists visiting Mauritius, of which I feel many should be from India. And here we'll have, as I said, we have an open sky policy. We want more carriers from India towards Mauritius. We want the private airlines to join in. But as at now, the agreement is between Air Mauritius and Air India, and Air India has shown interest in coming down to Mauritius.
We'll talk about that open sky policy which you just spoke about. But international terrorism, that has become a major threat for all the countries. How do you think we should work together to curb this?
Now, you have come to something very delicate, very important, because, see, we are all vulnerable. The world has become such a place where any two persons, it could be one, it could be two, it could be 10 persons sitting somewhere and concocting anything, right, and the whole world is at stake. So this is something very serious. And I'd like here to inform you that Mauritius was among the first countries to have passed a law, to have brought an act in Parliament concerning terrorism. It is the Prevention of Terrorism Act in 2002, which means at our end, we have the legislation needed to counteract terrorism. But definitely it doesn't depend on you and us. Mm-hmm. It will depend on all people, all the nations of the world. And between India and Mauritius, there is a special partnership, even at this level, right, where there is a joint working group. People from Mauritius come to India whenever there is any urgent meeting to be held. And from here also, the technicians, those experts in those fields, they go to Mauritius.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Britain, France, America, and India. These are the 4 countries which are in your good books. But how does India stand out?
Now, let me tell you, all the countries are in our good books. We are good to everybody.
These are special countries.
But our links with these 4 countries are special because of cultural reasons, because of our population being such. As I said, 70% of the Mauritian population is of Indian origin.
Historical, cultural, all links.
So many links. And over and above India, we have the others also. Definitely we have cultural links with China. We have some people of Chinese origin in Mauritius, some of African origin, some of European origin. But the bulk of the population is of Indian origin, and you are bound to have a special type of relation with India. That is why we have so many commonalities, so many interests, so many things that go on between these 2 countries, which are really, at times, make others jealous. Why is it so between Mauritius and India? So, India being India, and Mauritius being what it is, the relations will definitely be maintained as they are and consolidated further for still more
I hope it grows further, but how me and you, that means India and Mauritius, could move ahead with a cordial relationship and achieve more and more. We'll talk on this, but before that, we'll have to take a short break. Keep watching Meet the Diplomat.